(1대 3으로) 진 걸로 알고 있는데 마지막 경기 하나만 보자. 이거 꿍 있는 팀이죠. 마지막 한 경기만 볼게요. 너무 적게 보나? 하나만 더 볼까?
Now we get the chance to see it once again as Vici Gaming. They finally were able to pull themselves together in game number 3. They have to do it again in game number 4. And already we can see Dan Gaming changing things up after their loss. That is a Kled ban away from Long. Again, 2 jungle bans towards Bengi and another 2 towards Karin.
아이 만두 새끼.
Vici Gaming say, if you take our Kled, we're going to take yours to Leah. But that means Shen is now picked up for lies.
야 저렇게 3명만 있어도 진짜 세 보이지 않냐? 이렇게 3명만 있어도 참 세 보이는데 이렇게 셋만 있어도 여기다가 적절히 조금만 이렇게 배합하면 되게 셀 것 같은데 아.
Vici Gaming say, if you take our Kled, we're going to take yours to Leah. But that means Shen is now picked up for lies.
So finally, a match without Talia. I think she has been the pivotal point of this entire series so far. So I'm glad to see what both teams will bring out without that type of.
제가 알기로는 바텀이 좀 많이 심각하다고 알고 있거든요. 이번 경기는 내가 아직 이거 못 봤으니까 이거 보면서 진짜 냉정하게 얘기 한번 해보자.
Performance last time around. I'd hate yet. There it goes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Immediately hovered, and let's see if it's locked in. Yep. So, Frost, you were saying?
I think this means that there's a higher priority on Dan Gaming to pick up Zyra in an earlier rotation because you have to think it's going to be immediately banned away should Cat not get his hands on it.
표본이 부족하면 좀 더 봐야 될 수도 있겠다. 아 우리 꿍. 아우 진을 고르네. 이거 중국 승강전이거든요. 7.7 패치예요. 그리고 조합 좋네. 쉐나리 조합이네. 조합 자체는 VG도 괜찮고요. 한타는 VG가 훨씬 센데 이게.
And now the follow-up from Vici Gaming is Vladimir banned away, or excuse me, picked up from Easy. I'm still stuck in the ban phase right now. They took away his Syndra. They tried to lock him down with that early rotation, and
like Vlad,
break it out.
Random us off.
Well, maintained 4. See if Dan to the match. Team number.
In fact, it's been fairly simple and standard jungle starts.
Crowd is getting quieter and quieter.
I thought for sure that they were going to cheer again.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, that was the Dan Gaming.
Got their own fans out there.
A few fans from both sides. You see Dan Gaming back on blue.
아니 마지막 경기 보고 이걸로 좀 부족하다 싶으면 하나 더 볼게요.
Meanwhile, you can see Gung waiting towards his own Raptor camp as Karin splits off.
So not sacrificing pressure between Cat and Choo Choo here. Before, they actually leashed for Karin, trying to get him ahead. Oh god, please don't.
Oh man. The emote battle down here in bottom lane. You can see Caveman sort of inching forward, trying to bait him out as if he had hook. And even taking a look at the summoners, Cat took Ignite on Lulu and Exhaust from Caveman, so a different setup in the bottom lane. Probably not going to be looking for that early aggression, he says optimistically.
And you have to think it might punish them not having the exhaust, but you prioritize the Ignite there because you are across from a Vladimir.
Yeah.
So will help before that Mortal Reminder comes online.
Very early lane priority from Choo Choo and Cat as they shove this wave in and clear out all 5 of those minions. Meanwhile, Xuan P and Caveman are sitting all the way under the turret. A quick shove from Gung lets him get a ward in the jungle of Bengi to keep an eye on which route he decides to go for. He's spotted out by a ward, and double buff from Karin looks to be the name of the game. So they will be spotted.
But it's always going to be a question what you do with that information. Easyhoon just being a pest right now, knowing that he'll be able to out-sustain Ahri in this lane through the fact that he's a resource baseless champion and he can get his health back.
Karin finishes off red buff as Cat immediately goes for an invade. Caveman has been pulled up as well. He could cut off the escape, but there's also Choo-Choo and Karin waiting there. Blue buff is already down to 1,000 health, and it looks like Dan Gaming might try to 3-buff Bengi. He's got his smite ready, so they try to look for the silence, and they force the flash. An ignite auto attack. He gets the level up from what? From blue buff dying?
He has blue.
Did he get it from the red bird?
It must have ticked off of the red.
How on earth? Bengi, you lucky son of a gun.
That blue buff is MVP.
Oh, the breath of life as the jungle itself breathes life into Bengi.
And now, Cat can actually be punished. He doesn't have his flash. He expended so much on that. Except he's like, minions? What minions? Charges forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cannon creep wave, Cat. Calm down.
Oh man, and now Karin leaps away, flashes over the wall as Caveman manages to tag the dragon.
And suddenly everything is going wrong for Dan Gaming in multiple lanes. They have the right idea, but again, the execution. Let's see if it actually is the red
he's got
buff.
his barrel there.
Oh my god.
Wow. That was... I'm not sure if that was brilliant or just lucky.
That has to be 100% accident.
제가 지금 화장실에 갔다 왔는데 뭔 일 있었죠 지금? 뭔 일 있었던 것 같은데? 잠깐만요.
Just being a pest right now,
아까
knowing that he'll be able to
화장실 갔다 왔었는데 잠깐만.
in this lane.
이거 살짝 놓친 것 같은데?
Resource baseless champion, and he can get his health back.
Karin finishes off red buff as Cat immediately goes for an invade. Caveman has been pulled up as well. He could cut off the escape. There's also Choo-Choo and Karin waiting there. Blue buff is already down to 1,000 health, and it looks like Dan Gaming might try to 3-buff Bengi. He's got his smite ready, so they try to look for the silence, and they force the flash. An ignite auto attack. He gets the level up from what? From blue buff dying?
He has blue.
더 정글 보소. 더 정글
Did he
미쳤네
get it from the
방금.
red bird?
It must have ticked off of the red.
How on earth?
그리고
Bengi,
이거는
you
바텀
lucky
개이득
son of a
봤죠?
gun.
룰루코 스펠 다 빼주고 바텀 완전 개이득입니다 이거.
The breath of
이거 뱅기
life
진짜
as the
잘했네.
jungle itself breathes life into Bengi.
And now,
아까 굴려놓은 걸로
Cat
먹었나
actually
보네.
doesn't have his flash. He expended so much on that. Except he's like, minions? What minions? Charges forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cannon creep wave, Cat. Calm down.
Oh man, and now Karin leaps away, flashes over the wall.
얘는 이게 각도 자체가 드래곤
man,
각도인데
now
여기
Karin
어디다
leaps
날려?
away, flashes over the wall as Caveman.
Down.
Oh man, and now Karin leaps away, flashes over the wall as Caveman manages
쪼여서
to tag the
전멸이나
dragon.
빼지.
And suddenly everything is going wrong for Dan Gaming in multiple lanes. They have the right idea, but again, the execution. Let's see if it actually
Oh,
is the
he's
red
got
buff.
his barrel there.
Oh my god.
That was... I'm not sure if that was brilliant or...
실버도 저렇게는 안 한다. 실버였으면 미니맵을 못 봐서 안 갔겠지 저기로. 좀 그러지 말자. 어? 말도 안 되는 비하 좀 하지 말자 좀.
just lucky.
That has to be 100% accident.
Ah. World champions, man. Sometimes things just happen for them.
Better players just
You know-
abilities time perfectly.
Yeah, one of my favorite quotes from Rusty is that better players crit more.
It's not a quote from Rusty.
Yeah, sure it is.
No, it's a quote from an OPL player. King. That Rusty stole. I got you, Rusty.
We're getting our proper citations here in the LPL.
일단 여기까지 보고 하나 충격적인 게 있다면 럼블이 쉔 상대로 CS가 지고 있어요. 이게 말이 안 되거든. 내가 어쨌든 이게 쉔이 아무리 잘한다고 가정을 해도 반반까진 내가 이해해. 그래. 어떻게 지고 있냐 이게.
But better players crit more. They have the exact same crit chance, but they crit more.
I forget if it's Radiant or King. It's like,
But that was a huge lucky
미드는 이 정도면 되게 잘하고 있어요.
crit for Bengi,
로밍도
keeping
아까
him
먼저
alive
가줬고.
in that very early invade from Dan Gaming that would have been successful. They
이게 왜 CS 차이가 이렇게 나는 줄 알아요? 럼블이 라인을 오지게 미는데 CS를 다 놓친 거야. 그러니까 럼블 잘하고 못하고의 특징은요. 쉔 상대로 내가 라인을 밀면서 내 거를 잘 먹으면서 쉔을 견제해서 못 먹게 만들어야 되는데 얘는 그냥 밀 거 밀면서 자기 거 놓치고 쉔이 먹기 편한 거예요 이게. 이게 되게 안 좋아 이게. 이 CS 차이 봐봐 이거 미쳤어 CS 차이. 와, 나 저런 럼브에 만나면 진짜 편하겠네.
You mean on the barrel like this?
Right
Bengi
here?
invades into Karin's jungle.
Jack Sparrow of blue buffs.
Yeah, exactly. Stole away his Gromp, stole away his Direwolf camp. Bengi, with the luxury of surviving, will turn towards his own jungle, not getting 3 buffed. Meanwhile, that Vladimir that you mentioned having a great old time against Goong. 11 CS ahead.
일단 라인 상황을 정확히 다 안 봐서 뭐 막 이렇게 단정 짓는 게 좀 웃길 수도 있지만요. 라인을 계속 처음부터 끝까지 보는 건 아니니까. 전 여기까지 봐서도 일단 충격적이에요. 탑 CS 지고 있는 거부터 시작해서 바텀에서 어쨌든 뱅기가 그 바텀 쪽 이득을 봐준 건데 그게 알게 모르게. 근데 바텀도 또 지고 있단 말이야 이게. 그러니까 탑 바텀이 지고 있는 거 자체가 지금 이해가 잘 안 가.
In the top lane, we're seeing Lies is also trying to open up a CS advantage, and Choo-Choo doing the same. But EasyHoon holding down the fort along with Bengi.
And it's still just this constant ebb and flow of both junglers peeking into their opponent's avenue, checking around, seeing what they can find, laying down deep vision. It's been such a very cerebral and very controlled jungle game. I feel like they're not so much predators setting up ganks or snowball mechanics for their laners as they are hunters for each other. Trackers, that's a good
More,
word.
more of the Rengar than the Kaza.
탑은 갱을 갈 수가 없네 하는 거 보니까. 이게 럼블이 라인 관리 너무 못한다.
We could see them fight. Oh wait. It's different beat.
저거 쉔 입장에서 가지고 노는 라인이에요 저게. 갱 부르기도 편하고 쉔이. 뱅기 입장에서는 탑 찌르기도 애매하고. 피자님 고맙습니다. 감사합니다. 행복한 하루 보내세요.
We do see the invade from Karin, gets a ward on the backside, very deep. Teleport is available for Lies.
뭐 그래 CS 좀 밀릴 수도 있어. 근데 조합은
Perhaps just trying to keep
한타 조합은 VG가 훨씬 좋긴 하거든요.
going down from VG.
근데
Could be missing. Cat
근데
gets some damage as Karin shows up. That's Stand United. Choo-Choo is left behind, but they bring in the Shadow Dash. They're getting good damage.
이런 게
from
문제죠.
Swan P. They've got Caveman. The crit gets one. Bouncing grenade looks for two, and Goong shows up to finish off the second.
And it feels that the pace of every single
They're getting good. They're up. Gets a ward on the backside. We do see the invade from Karin. Gets a ward.
이거 지금 핑을 누가 찍어주는지 모르겠는데 레드 쪽에서 핑을 저 강가 드래곤 쪽에 핑을 찍어주잖아. 저게 그라가스가 위쪽 동선이고 카직스가 아래쪽에 있을 수도 있다는 걸 의미하는 핑 같거든요. 내가 생각할 때.
Very deep. Teleport is available for Lies.
근데 바텀 포지션 자체가 너무 불안해가지고 난 이건 좀 답이 없어 보이네. 왜 쓰레쉬가 저기 이렇게 달라붙어 있지? 누가 봐도 되게 위험한데? 이럴 때 쓰레쉬가 아예 뒤쪽에 빠져있고 바루스만 좀 먹게 시키고 그렇게 했으면은 이렇게 막 무기력하게 다 잡히진 않았을 것 같은데 이게 뭐 아리까지 온 것도 좀 매섭긴 했는데 쉔공도 잘하고. 이거는 그래서 상대팀이 잘한 것도 있어요. 솔직히 잘한 것도 있는 건 맞는데 기본적으로 바텀 라인이 너무 안일하네. 그냥
but you could see how cautious EasyHoon is. He doesn't know where they are.
Yeah, Goong completes his recall. That's spotted out by Bengi. That's actually Ghost used.
바텀이 저렇게 당해주면 씨.
To those minions in time and protect that turret from going down. And teleport even used by Lies to make his way back top and not miss too many minions.
We had questions if Dan Gaming would be able to bounce back after the initial loss. They looked much cleaner, even after the blunder of the blue buff. Reset, refocus. Grab a big wave bottom and make a successful dive. That's now advantage for Goong in the mid lane and Choo-Choo in the bot.
Meanwhile, their blue buff will be stolen away by Long. He is level 6, and Karin, ducking just outside of vision. He doesn't have his smite.
이게 정글러 입장에서 되게 힘든 게임이 예상됩니다.
Better isolation, tries to pull that raptor out. Yeah, there he goes. Bengi still manages to get the smite, and Caveman's there. Charm misses. Bengi still has his flash. He did get it back after the
일단 탑을 지고 있는 게 너무 충격적이야.
Just trying to be brave, knowing that he had caveman behind him with dark passage.
아무리 봐도 충격적이야.
His playoff life, his LPL life is on the line in this best of 5. With Dan Gaming taking an advantage here now with that first game.
아니 최근에
Steals it.
뱅기랑 지훈이가 있는 만두가 코치로 있는 VG가 강등된 게 이슈가 좀 됐었단 말이에요. 근데 제가 결승 준비하느라 솔직히 못 봤어. 그래서 지금 보고 있는데 내가 느끼는 흐름은 지금 이거는 미드 정글이 뭔가 할 수 있는 흐름은 아닌 것 같거든. 지금까지는 일단 뭐 한타 장면이나 이런 걸 좀 보죠. 더 미드 되게 잘하고 있고요. 정글도 그 와중에 되게 잘하고 있어. 이 정도면 이거는 그래도 위아래 애들이 잘 만들었네. 그리고 좋았고 좋았다. 잘 풀었죠? 쉔이 궁 순간이동 없는 타이밍 잘 노렸던 것 같고
The charm misses. Long even stands on top of the dark passage just in case, as Goon will keep his bottom tier 1 turret alive, so it's not going to break open a huge gold or map advantage for either side.
포브를 먹어야 대박인데 포브를 못 먹은 건 좀 아쉽네요.
As well as the fact that he will have the TP advantage, you can see that they're offset slightly on the cooldowns.
You can see Choo-Choo making his way towards the mid lane along with Cat. Let's see if they stay in this lane for a little bit or if they decide to commit to this.
I figure you would just clear the wave and then rotate back down to the bottom side, especially because the tower is about to fall over. Although if they have confidence that Goon and Karen could take it by themselves, then you'd have Choo-Choo stay here and then Ari would rotate back.
Karen on the invade sees Bengi once again. He's got some assistance from Cat. Bengi with no cast gets his ward cleared out and placed down. Meanwhile, Shuan P and Caveman will be spotted as
이게 강등되면 강등되는 이유가 있어. 그 이유를 찾기 위해 이 영상을 보고 있는 겁니다. 그리고 밑도 끝도 없는 비방하는 새끼들은 언제 블랙 강퇴당할지 모르니까 참고하시기 바랍니다. 채팅 관리 원칙 있거든요.
We're just playing musical chairs all around the map right now. We're trying to figure out our lane assignments.
어그로 새끼들이 딴 데서 씨부리는 건 내가 막을 수가 없지. 나한테 그런 권리도 없고 말이야. 나한테 그런 힘도 없고. 근데 여기는 제 개인 방송이잖아요. 저한테 그런 힘이 있단 말이야. 어그로 그 병신 같은 얘기하는 애들이 있으면 바로바로 걸리면 뭐 언제 블랙 언제 강퇴할지 모르니까 참고하십시오.
Big thing though that you pointed out is that proto belt from Easyhoon. He is a massive threat, so Vici can feel confident as
저는 선수들에 대해서는 언제나 민감한 편입니다. 제가 가장 민감하게 생각하는 거 선수, LOL판, e스포츠판 이런 거 건들지 마세요. 적어도 내 방에서는 그런 새끼들 안 봐도 나한테 아무 지장 없어. 안 보는 게 나한테 좋아. 그런 쓰레기 애들은 알겠죠?
They 5v5 or skirmish around him.
And Frost, it's another ocean dragon. Going to be on the map for quite some time.
Why?
Gets a great trade onto Goong. Now you can start to see why he needs to go for that null magic mantle.
You know, I said that Dan Gaming would be essential mountain dragon. I feel like Vici or ocean.
Ooh, Cat actually eats a chains of corruption. That's standing.
좋은 플레이예요. 쉔 소환했고 바텀이 공격적으로 좀 해줘야 되는 조합이거든요. 바로스 스레시기 때문에 타이밍만 잘 잡으면 되게 날카로워. 저게 약한 조합도 아니고 킬각 잡기도 좋고. 와 근데 합류 타이밍 과감하게 잘 잡았네. 홉을 먹겠다는 얘기죠. 이거는 뭐 못 막지. 네. 그래서 댄이 포브를 먹긴 먹었는데 엄밀히 얘기하면 VG가 손해가 아니에요. 탑도 같이 밀 거고 미드에서 이득 본 것도 있기 때문에 이거는 뭐 VG 괜찮습니다. 그냥 댄 입장에서 이대로 라인전을 계속하기에는 좀 부담 느꼈던 것 같아요. 그래서 빨리 끝내버렸다고 봐야겠죠.
They now turn onto the Ocean Dragon. Karin is down there. Meanwhile, Bengi's on the other side of the map. So Vici will again trade objectives and lose out on the neutral set.
So what this means in particular for Rumble is you can see that he has his completed Leandre.
드래곤 뺏긴 건 또 별 상관 없고.
So as soon as that he gets closer to taking over to level 2 ultimate, it's actually a significant power spike, kind of a little bit of a springboard or ramp for Long in particular in these 5v5. So with Protobelt, with Leandres, and with level 2 ultimate, which is just a level down for Rumble, Vici can hit real hard within the next like 2 to 3 minutes.
Currently they're playing around that top side of the map, stealing away the blue buff from Boom, and Long is split pushing bottom. Easy Moon just clearing out these waves. He's so close to being able to one-hit that entire wave, the caster creeps, and keep going on. Meanwhile, Bengi sitting inside of this tri-bush along with Caveman to protect Xuan P. It's dangerous, but Dan Gaming just decided to take the Grompet back on.
꿀템이 보기에 이지훈 뱅기가 전 시즌에 비해 약해졌나요? 그거는 이지훈 뱅기뿐만 아니라 다 마찬가지예요. 해외 나간 순간 보통 약해지지 당연히. 노는 물이 다른데. 근데 그것 때문에 졌냐 아니냐가 포인트인 거지. 댄이 팀플레이 되게 잘하네. 근데 이거는 잘 넘겼고요.
Unfortunately not connecting with the skill shot, so a couple of mechanical blunders there mean that Dan Gaming are unable to execute on what was a really good idea.
미드 정글에서 위기를 넘겨줬기 때문에 사이드 쪽에서 이득을 좀 봤는데
Plain and simple. They set up for it. Does it work? No. All right, back up. Question is, what do they need to wait for in order to try it again?
The blueprint's much easier to follow because they do have the gen like that Ashe. They can just stand in fog of war, open up that ultimate. I like to call it the Yahtzee of ults. You just kind of roll the dice, see what you got.
Yeah. Yahtzee.
If not, put it back in the cup, roll it again.
Yeah. Woman shows up bottom, gets some slow onto lies. You can see the damage that Rumble is doing.
와우 좋다. 되게 좋은데? 전멸까지 뺐네. 그리고 포타. 여기까진 VG 되게 괜찮거든요.
Vici now get more time where they get to execute on kind of long-term plans, which is taking that tower bottom.
I see what you did there. As all the gold went onto long.
Yep.
Very long-term plans.
It's level 11.
Yep, finally taking over, clearing out those waves so quickly. He is really going to hurt.
And the next dragon will be mountain.
예, 항상 질문들 많이 하시잖아요. 제가 이렇게 천천히 보고 있는데 대부분의 질문들 답은 유튜브 꿀템TV에 있습니다. 참고하시기 바래요. 한타 조합 VG가 좋고 운영은 댄이 좋고 뭐 기동성 살려서 끊어먹기 이런 건데 지금까지 계속 좋아요.
Dan Gaming are still very patient and very disciplined. You know, you can see how conscious they are of fog of war.
좋은데? 근데 킬까지는 힘들겠죠? 상대가 룰루셴 조합이라 가지고 근데 이런 건 아주 좋아요. 굉장히 좋은데? 그러면서 블라디 불러가지고 순간 미드 압박도 하고
They've even got a flank from Goong, but he spotted out Charm, tags onto Easy Hoon. They managed to get a snare, but that's a Vladimir. They're not going to be able to kill him. Curtain Call finding some damage, but they are so tanky. Dash in, hook onto Karin, and he is going to flash back. Somehow survives. Bengi escorts him, flash from Xuan P. He eats a Charm, and that's going to be a lot of damage out of Choo-Choo. Trying to
괜찮은데 아직까지?
flanks onto Cat. He's turning onto Goong. Does he have enough? Choo-Choo is still
괜찮은데?
firing, but he just cannot get through that health. And Lies gets them so low, but so far he's
좋은데요?
only able to get one. Three members of Dan Gaming.
되게 유리한데? 되게 잘 싸웠거든요 방금 핑퐁하면서. 핑퐁 되게 좋았다.
Huge flank in that fight to reward a lot of damage, and now we find the momentum definitely in Vici's favor. 1,500 gold ahead, 2 turrets to 1.
어차피 정식 한타는 VG가 꽤 강한 조합인데 이게 이퀄라이저 없는 타이밍에 댄이 먼저 물면서 싸움을 잘 연 것처럼 보였잖아요. 근데 그 와중에 VG가 혈사병 반격 잘하면서 진영 잘 잡으면서 한 명씩 타겟팅 잘 녹이니까 이지훈이 그리고 워낙 포지션이 좋았어요. 계속 이지훈이 진짜 잘했다. 뱅기도 죽을 듯 말 듯 핑퐁 정말 잘했고요. 제가 이 게임을 보는 이유는 단순합니다. 그냥 이지훈 뱅기 때문에 강등됐냐 안 됐냐를 제 개인적으로 판단하기 위해서예요. 이지훈 뱅기가 뭐 정말 뭐 그 정도로 지금 슬럼프냐 이런 걸 판단하기 위해서인데 문제 없어 보이는데요. 잘하는데. 이런 거 좀 허무하게 잘렸고요.
And for some reason, it just looks really impressive when they continuously make plays around Goon. He's actually been very solid this series, which he had.
상대가 운영하는 조합이라서 VG가 인원 배치가 한 명 공백이 생기게 되면 사이드 쪽 타격이 있을 수밖에 없어요. 좋은 플레이예요. 이지훈이 쉔궁 턴 빼준 거죠. 어차피 럼블 죽어있는 동안 탑 손해나야 뭐 볼 수밖에 없다 치더라도.
Gonna easily walk it down. That said, it will be a response by Ari up into the top side. You can see that that tower is a stiff breeze from going down, so they should get something for their troubles.
Top tier 1 finally drops as Mountain Dragon is picked up, and when it's all said and done, it's only about 300 gold separated between the teams. It's rather balanced between them, even in top, even in jungle, close to even in mid lane, and close to even on AD carries.
But if we continue to go neutral, then it's going to come down to the execution of these 5v5s and who's going to outscale.
Whoa, flash polymorph. You can't take the lantern when you're polymorph, but if you land a hook on the
아, 바로 수금 들어갔으면 좋아하는데 근데 뭐 상관없지. 좋아. 이퀄 너무 대충 까는데 그래도 괜찮아요. 이런 건 좋다. 예. 계속 유리합니다 VG가.
And for all of the praise that I was giving him earlier, that was a massive mistake. Not because he got caught by the death sentence, but because he decided to engage on a fight without Shin having ultimate. The Shin ult was used defensively bottom to save their jungler, which meant that immediately looking for a fight there is foolish. You don't have the stand united. You're an ultimate down. Why do it?
Bit of a reckless play from Dan Gaming. Perhaps we're seeing the veneer crack a bit as they have been.
그러니까 해외 나간 선수들이 가장 힘들어하는 게 그 문화 차이랑 의사소통 이런 거거든요. 진짜 그 게임이 다가 아니라 사람이 살아가는 같이 생활이 들어가 있기 때문에 5대5 팀 게임이고 해외 나간 선수들 다 쉽진 않을 거예요. 거기서 정착하고 성공하기가. 진짜 중국 사람이 돼야 된다는 생각으로 중국에서 뛰어야 되고 진짜 북미 사람이 된다는 생각으로 북미에서 뛰어야 되고 약간 그런 애들이 성공하더라고 보면. 예를 들어 훈이 같은 애는 어딜 가든 적응력이 정말 빨라요. 친화력도 정말 좋고. 혹은 중국에서는 루키가 난 되게 표본, 그러니까 되게 좋은 예라고 봐요. 중국 사람들한테도 정말 사랑받고 중국어 자유자재로 다 쓸 줄 알고 진짜 잘하고. 이게 그 문화에 같이 호흡해주는 게 되게 중요하거든. 그러니까 좀 활발한 게 중요하다는 얘기예요. 다 케바케는 있겠지만 어떤 코치진 어떤 선수들과 함께냐에 따라서 다 다르겠지만 그래도 좀 활발한 애들이 잘 되는 것 같아.
A lot of that priority is going to be around the vision and setup. Bengi has been on point with a lot of his wards since game number 3, since he managed to pull it together. Now needs to continue this momentum. As Dan Gaming try to break it out.
이제 게임은 단순해졌죠. 포탑 서로 밀 거 밀었고 VG 입장에선 미드까지 밀었기 때문에 쉔이 운영하는 거를 막기 위해서 바론 쪽 시야 장악하고 낚시하고 강제 이니시 걸고 뭐 이런 흐름을 반복할 것 같은데, 아니면 서로 크기만 해도 VG가 나쁠 것도 없고요. 한타 조합 자체가 VG가 훨씬 세거든요, 아무렇게나 싸워도. 댄이 앞서는 거는 쉔을 통한 운영이랑 아리 쉔 조합 이용해가지고 순간적으로 파고드는 건데, 이쪽이 뭐 쓰레쉬도 있고 이런 식의 끊어먹는 플레이는 좋죠, 댄 입장에서. 근데 죽진 않았고, 근데 블라디가 커버 왔다가 오히려 혈사병은 잘 들어갔거든요, 이 정도면. 그리고 자연스럽게 빠져나왔고, 쓰레쉬가 죽었지만 아직 봐야 돼요. 괜찮네. 괜찮아.
And unfortunately, the rest of his team was unable to follow up on Lai's, big heroic play to try to turn the tide of that fight. It really was Schwan B. It felt like that had zoned them out, which he didn't have ultimate. They saw him in that bush. That was quite curious.
Yeah, VG now actually raced down the mid lane. They cut off
상대의 노림수를 VG가 잘 받아냈기 때문에 조금이라도 이득을 봤고요. 이건 괜찮은 거예요.
definitely come out ahead in that regard.
However, Easyhoon did burn all of his summoners in that last exchange. So we'll not be able to make that type of play again, where he comes from the wrong side. He's like, I don't really want to be here. Ghost flash to the other
It
side.
seemed like it was great for him. He came into the fight and there was a Jhin with his back to him. So he just showed up, threw some blood at him, turned around.
I definitely think he showed up, thought that he had Jhin, unaware, and then Lulu literally flashed on top of him and ignited him.
Ignite! Shield the
What'd you
Vladimir.
do? Stop looking at him.
Now we see VG Gaming setting up for the Baron. P on this recall. He's finished off his Runeans and Blade of the Ruin King, working towards Quicksilver Sash, just in case he gets caught. Bottom is alive, still holding down on that wave. He's finished off his own Titanic Hydra. Still looking for a big buy from Choo. He's been sitting on these two components for quite some time. But Dan Gaming quickly answer back by clearing out the vision of Vici and maintaining momentum on that side of the map. They don't know that Long is bottom yet, but they will soon.
That's Stan United. What is it, just off of cooldown? It's so hard to tell with that one.
Looks like it's about 10, 15.
VG는 적극적으로 해도 되고 공격적으로 해도 돼요.
Gonna close up on the upper left corner.
방어적으로 플레이해도 조합이 좋기 때문에 꿀릴 게 없어. 이대로 시간이 흘러가도. 그러니까 지금 VG가 주도권을 잡고 있는데 무조건 공격적으로 할 필요는 없는 거예요. 괜찮아 지금도. 블라디 계속 잘 크고 있고. 최소한의 낚시만 하고 있는 것 같죠. 미드 수성하면서 계속 시간 끌면서 이렇게 크면 될 것 같은데. 댄 입장에서 이제 쉔 이용해가지고 계속 노리긴 할 텐데. 최근에 선수 언급 잘못했다가 대인 적 있나요? 클템님 발언이 엄청 조심스럽네요. 나는 원래 선수에 대해서 항상 존중합니다. 그건 내 원칙이야. 특히 LCK 선수들.
I know you need the gold. Take mid lane. We just need to shove these waves as quickly as possible because we need to get control of this pit because we need to contest the vision. You can see the on the way ping is going. Like we're too late. They're already there.
Yeah, VG are sitting in the pit.
내가 제일 싫어하는 게 아마추어랑 선수랑 비교하는 건데.
Makes a lot of sense as Bangi polymorph to safety.
Cat is the most aggressive Lulu player I think I've ever seen. He's literally just like chasing after you with like bubbles.
And he's found Easyhoon and tries to trade with him. Level 10 to level 15. Lulu versus Vladimir.
센타선바님 100개 완전 신나.
여기서가 좀
감기
포인트가 되나?
걸려서 컨디션 안 좋지만 클템님한테 복부 강타 맞고 싶다.
나도 그렇습니다. 감사합니다. 센터님 요즘 자주 뵈네요. 감사합니다. 그 블랙 좀 변명할게요. 채팅 원칙에 대해서 설명을 해놨는데
as he's finished off a void staff on top of that Zanya's. So we're seeing
안
big,
지키시는 분이
big
보이면은
damage.
칼
It's gonna be a little
같죠.
more difficult for Lies to
피자님
trade with.
고맙습니다.
Charm catches Bangi. Snare stops the recall from Chuchu once again. He's still sitting here in this mid lane.
And this is Dan Gaming saying that we're going to stall the back. You're not going to get the immediate power spike because Lies is winning that side lane so hard. They're just trying to
이거는
find
한타로
time.
승부가
You can see
나겠네요.
Chuchu was stepped back,
흐름상.
kind of waiting like, Ari, if you hit that stun, I can follow up on it. We can continue to apply pressure and keep Vici in this mid lane while Shin makes use bottom.
Yeah, so he did finally cycle that recall. Finally completed that.
총정리는 게임을 다 보고 나서 할게요.
Well, along with a dagger for even more attack speed.
I just like the fact
대충
that as a
그림은
characteristic,
보이는데.
like in that decision making, Chuchu showed that he's here to play for the team.
Yeah.
Like he'll be the guy that picks up the pentakill that can do back-to-back MVPs in hard carry. But if his team asks him to stay, he'll do it to open up opportunity for Shin. If that was Uzi, he's like, I don't care,
I'm backing.
I'm backing.
Sorry.
Take
So
my
again,
lane.
playing for the team, super important for Dan Gaming. Again, the LSPL teams, the up-and-comers, the usurpers, as they've managed to catch on to Karen, flashes back outside of the box. They get teleport from
좋아,
home
좋아, 좋아.
as well. It's canceled. That's going to refund part of the cooldown, but Stand United.
순간이동이 좀 아깝네 럼블.
That said, he still has his teleport, so not a lot lost there.
순간이동
The fact
빠진
that
건 좀
the teleport was
아깝네.
canceled by Long also means that Vici can't absorb that loss.
With Easy Hoon continuing to shove in those waves up top, he is getting bigger and bigger towards that late game. Vladimir, Chuan P, is that an Essence Reaver? Caulfield's Hammer?
Can
Oh,
build
that's
into-
no, the Maw of Malmortius. You're right.
Yeah.
You didn't even say it, but you're right.
No,
여러분들
it's like-
질문하시는 것들 정말 농담 아니라 유튜브 꿀템TV에 올라와 있는 거 많습니다.
Great job.
참고하시기 바랍니다.
But now the team moving around that Baron again. Dan Gaming playing the team game 1-3-1. They know they've got a power opportunity in that Shen. He's split pushing bottom. Level 16 is even more reduced cooldown on that Stand United. With Long's teleport on cooldown, he's got a group with his team, so now is the opportunity for Dan Gaming to play the map a little more aggressively.
And you said level 16 on Shin, we also have level 16 on Rumble. So it's that much more of that emphasis. He doesn't want to just play with his team because he can't stand across from the Shin, but he wants to play with his team because he wants to hit someone.
이게 순간이동 없을 때가 확실히 피곤할 것 같고 게임은 아까랑 돈 차이가 거의 없죠.
Waiting for the banner of command.
Oh man,
That would just be the
Rumble's bane.
nail in the coffin.
The only person who can deal with that is Chuan P. Ooh, that is unfortunate.
It'd be
Interesting to see Vici Gaming.
Banner of command would be a great item here. Like, think of how much magic damage they have, first of all.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, Flash, Chain of
에바다.
Corruption, and a Tether. That's also going to be the curtain call. Chuan P is getting backhanded.
그래도 억지로라도
and the cast knocks him out of it. Karin is burned down
너무
to half,
억지네.
but that is a lot of ultimates. Meanwhile, Lies still holding on to Stand United, finishes off the tier 2.
A great flash from Chuchu. It wasn't just the cast that caused problems, the fact that he flashed from the back half of it and the movements flung even farther out.
Karin is corruption. Interestingly enough, Flash.
콜을 듣고 쏜 건 맞아요 지금. 이거 VG에서 콜 했을 거야 한타 열라고. 이거는 원데이 독단적인 판단은 아니거든요. 럼블 텔 없는 타이밍에 럼블이 합류하면서 이니시 걸고 그래서 쉔궁을 뽑든 뭐든 간에 한타 열어서 이득 보자. 팀적인 콜은 맞아요. 근데 문제는 여기서 전멸이라도 빼면 좋았는데 전멸도 못 깨고 생으로 빗나가가지고 그게 너무 아깝네. 여기서 전멸이라도 빼놨으면 그라가스가 가가지고 토스 해줄 텐데.
But that is a lot of ultimates. Meanwhile, Lies still holding on to Stand United, finishes off the tier 2.
A great flash from Chuchu. It wasn't
그래서
just the
플레이는
cast that
이해가
caused
가지만
the fact that he flashed from the back
그냥
half of
좀
it.
잘 못했다 이렇게 볼 수 있겠고 그래서 손해봤죠.
Now that Ocean Dragon is topping, Dan Gaming off. Jun goes in, misses the charm. Dark Passage means Bengi's going to be able to escape, and Easy Hoon's there to follow up if a fight were to break out.
You do not want any of that, Bengi. Cat does not mess around. He will turn around. He will polymorph you. You will be sorry.
That is a scary Lulu.
이제는 럼블 순간이동 오긴 왔으니까 보긴 봐야 돼요 더.
That tastes purple.
Yeah.
어차피 한타는 VG가 세니까.
Oh man. And Now we still see Lies playing with that power spike. He's actually taking some damage here. His Guardian Angel and Spirit Visit not doing too much against the penetration of that Rumble, but still focusing around that vision as these time up in 20 seconds.
Our first one of the entire series. I'm so excited.
In game 4.
Especially because everyone has their big items out now. So other cool core itemization that was picked up is the Mortal Reminder coming out of Karin. So now they're not only reliant on the Morellonomicon and the Ignite.
Vici Gaming are on the pit for that Infernal Dragon. Easy Hoon managing to hold a lot of the attention as the rest of Vici finish that off, and now we've got a
이게
swap from Dan Gaming.
게임이 좀 기네? 그쵸? 좋았고 여기서가 중요하네. 낚시하는 거 뻔히 알고 있죠? 럼블은 순간이동 있으니까 오히려 밀고 있고 잘 피했고 이득 보고 있고 역으로 미드 진격하고 괜찮아. 좋아 VG 잘한다. 잘하고 있네. 잘합니다. 괜찮아요.
I just want a banner of command. Please, Lies. Just build it. Then you never have to be in a side lane again.
그리고 상대가 미드 치고 나오면 강제 이니시 각인가? 여기서 한타가 열렸네. 그냥 죽었네. 이퀄 잘못 갈렸고 블라디 진입 막혀있고 한타 끝났네요. 블라디가 잘 들어가긴 했는데 이미 한타가 끝나가지고 이거 리플레이 나오나 혹시? 미니맵으로 봐야겠네. 아까 그 상황 오른쪽 가다가 그냥 물렸네. 그쵸? 그냥 물렸네 제 원딜이. 바루스가 맨 앞에 가다가 물리고 시작했고 아리한테 여기서 한타 끝났어요. 이퀄도 잘못 갈렸고 그리고 상대 쉔이 좀 잘하네. 쉔이 길 잘 막았고 도발 잘 그었고
They may take more than that. They're continuing to charge on. Benki's still alive, which means the possibility of a smite still is there, but they will turn on Baron.
His smite is on cooldown. He's got flash. This is going to be so close, and you can see them waiting over the pit to zone him away. It's all up to Cat now as Benki has found the support undefended, aggressively seals him. That's a barrel to keep himself safe. He's already down to half. The charm misses. They're taking a lot of damage from the backside.
스틸 시도라도 해보고 싶은 건데 상대가 커버도 괜찮네.
They zone appropriately, and with that, Dan Gaming have now put themselves in the driver's seat. That could potentially be Vici Gaming's careers.
That would be absolutely huge. So turns out Aegis does build into a banner of command.
Are you messing with me?
I was incorrect. Here's that fight again. They catch Chuan P, a huge pick from Goon.
It sets up then the other big thing is Choo Choo is going to open up into his ultimate.
그냥 난 아무리 봐도 럼블 바루스가 그냥 못한 것 같거든. 그것 때문에 그냥 끝난 것 같거든. 뭐 저와 생각이 다르신 분들도 좀 있는 것 같은데 전 아무리 봐도 이거는 그냥 바루스 럼블이 너무 못했어요. 이건 답 없어 이런 상황에서. 일단 그렇게 정리할 수 있고요.
And turns out Aegis does build into Banner of Command, but look what he turned it into. Locket of the Iron Solari along with Cat. Shields on shields on shields.
경기를 직접 보는 이유가 그런 것 때문이야. 나도 뱅기, 지훈이, 만두 다 좋아하고 다 엄청 잘하는 친구들이라고 생각하기 때문에 2부 강등됐다는 소식을 듣고 좀 놀랐어요, 사실. 근데 결승 준비하느라 못 봤단 말이야. 근데 이거를 커뮤니티 보니까 뭐 다양한 의견이 있는데 내가 직접 보는 게 가장 정확하잖아, 내 입장에서. 원래 아시겠지만 선동과 날조가 또 오지게 많고 이상한 얘기들도 있기 때문에 직접 보는 게 제일 정확하거든.
I don't know if I'm more tilted with you or him.
For bringing this up.
No, just because
making you doubt yourself.
Yeah, I've started doubting myself on my ingredients, and I was like, "It's a banner of command." You're like, "No, it's not," and I'm sitting there, I'm like, "Oh God, now I don't know."
No, it isn't. Oh. That means we have achieved trust, Fruskira.
That was a trust fall and you dropped me on the ground.
And I brought you right back up because now he's going for something different.
Just like baby head first.
It's okay. It's soft. It'll soak and fall. They continue pushing onto the mid-tier 1 though, and are trying to get into the LPL. Vici Gaming If they lose here, they are eliminated. And Dan Gaming, the LSPL up-and-comers, are trying to close this series. They've got Baron for another 2 minutes. Elder Dragon is going to be the next one to spawn as we've crested over the 35-minute mark, but they've got Lies pushing bottom, and the rest of the team just needs to hold Vici down mid.
Cat is just a shark.
He's a Lulu.
That's why it's so funny. He's just standing. What are you gonna do, Cat?
Aggressively glitter lances nothing. I like it. Karin actually shows up. They might try to assassinate Long. He's doing a lot of damage, though. He doesn't have his Zanyas. Karin does not have enough to kill him as he's able to
살았네.
back away. Redemption on top of Karin. Easy Hoon doesn't get anything. The mid-tier 1 falls. And Dan Gaming are pulling Vici apart.
The Italian job bottom here, just like in and out, got what they came for.
그리고 항상 여러분 내가 그 얘기를 하고 싶어. 그 해외대회 보다 보면 나도 국뽕은 맞지. 나도 LCK 최고라고 생각하고 LCK 해설자야. LCK가 잘한다고 난 개인적으로 생각해요. 근데 해외대회 보다 보면 그런 현상이 되게 심한 것 중 하나가 과한 사람들이 많아. 우리나라 꼴찌 팀이 가도 저 리그는 1등 하겠네요. 뭐 어느 팀이 가도 1등 하겠네요. 쟤네들은 왜 저렇게 못하나요? SKT였으면 이렇게 했을 텐데. SKT였으면 멋졌을 텐데. 그러니까 너무 구대기 같은 얘기들이 많아서 도저히 이게 그냥 보고 볼 수가 없어. 제가 원래 어그로를 참 안 끌리려고 노력은 하는데 너무 쓰레기들이 많아. 이렇게 왜 해외 경기에 보다 보면 너무 병신들이 많은 거예요. 그냥 너무 병신 같잖아. 막 말하는 게 너무 병신 같아. 어디였으면 안 그랬을 거예요. 어디가 아니잖아. SKT가 아니잖아. 어떻게 모든 팀들이 다 SKT처럼 게임을 하냐. 그 리그마다 실력의 차이들은 조금씩 있는 거고 그 리그 내에서도 하위권 팀, 상위권 팀이라는 게 존재하는 거고 스타일이라는 게 있는 거고 장단점이라는 게 있는 거고 LCK는 세계 최고의 팀 기준으로 뭔가를 비교를 하면 당연히 다 못하고 막 그럴 수는 있는 건데 그럴 거면 경기를 왜 봐. 그 와중에서도 뭔가를 찾으려고 보는 거지. 지금 VG도 마찬가지예요. VG나 댄이나 마찬가지야. 저 댄은 아마 제가 알고 있기로 2부 리그 3위 팀인가 그렇고 VG야 뭐 그냥 이번 시즌 죽순 팀 아니냐. 어떻게 두 팀이 수준이 엄청 높겠냐. 근데 그렇다고 해서 두 팀이 뭐 그렇게 엄청 못하겠어 또? 그냥 본인들만의 분명 못하는 부분도 있고 잘하는 부분도 있을 텐데 그 와중에서 그런 걸 상대적인 실력 차이를 감안하면서 그 와중에 누가 제일 못했고 플레이적으로 누가 제일 불안한지를 내가 판단해 보겠다. 그러려고 이렇게 경기에 보는 거예요. 알겠죠? 하여간 참 일요일이라서 더 그런가 이거. 예. 쟤네도 부실골프로 오면 양악해. 부실골프 얘기 좀 제발 하지마. 프로 얘기하는데 챌린저도 바로 찍는 애들이야. 무슨 뭐 부실골프 같은 소리 하고 있어. 그러니까 우리 제발 여러분 뭔가 프로 경기에 대해서 얘기를 하고 막 경기해보고 그러면 부실골 무슨 뭐 아마추어 얘기 막 이런 것 좀 하지 맙시다. 그냥 챌린저는 다 찍는 애들이에요. 얘네들 다. 아 진짜.
Make the great escape.
The Shen shows up with a briefcase and suddenly Kazik sleeps out of it. Very unexpected.
It's Ocean's 11.
It is. Because Dan Gaming has been getting ocean after ocean after ocean.
Oh my god, I hate you so much right now.
And at the 36.5-minute mark, Bengi is looking across from Goom, the man who kept him out of Worlds in 2014, the man who eliminated his chances. And now, what sweet, sweet payback from Goom to be able to do it again here in the LPL promotion tournament.
This is worse.
3 years later.
He would relegate Vici Gaming. They've been in the LPL for what you were saying, 3 years?
Yeah, 2.5. As he
진짜 근데 오늘 주말이라 그런가 유독 쓰레기 어그로들이 너무 많네요. 힘들다 야.
Not even you can affect that Shen. Look at the damage Lies is doing. He doesn't even use his Locket of the Iron Solari.
Oh, how the mighty are falling right now. Vici, you need to dig up.
Yeah, this is the sound of a dynasty crumbling. Vici Gaming are falling further and further behind. They've caught Bengi. A huge crit is going to finish him off. They open up with the curtain call. Equalizer on top of him, and Chao
매혹 잘 들어갔다.
just sitting in it while he's firing away.
댄이 팀 플레이가 되게 좋네요. 계속 휘두르면서 쉔 이용해서 압박하고 스플릿하고 아리가 막 치고 들어가고 진 연계하고 댄이 잘하네.
Yeah, this is the sound of a dynasty crumbling. VG Gaming are falling further and further behind. They've caught Bengi. A huge crit is going to finish him off. They open up with the curtain call. Equalizer on top of him, and Chao Chuchu is just sitting in.
이거는 좀 결정적이죠 이제. 아까 한타 대패 이후로 게임이 좀 많이 기운 것 같네요. 바론도 뺏기면서 운영도 못 막고.
Bringing those minions in, Xuan P tries to clear it. It's his last hope. All the minions have been reset, but the next wave comes in. Another charm lands. They've got the
잘 날린다 배우.
Another assassination. It's 5 versus 2. EasyHoon
쇠사병이 잘 들어가긴 했는데 혼자서는 할 게 없어요.
Lies is right there, but the next inhibitor has been broken.
The death timers are relatively short on Bengi. 22 seconds on long. Dan Gaming, the redemption, they're going for
It
it.
is so close they can almost taste it. Turning on to the
그냥
Nexus turrets.
끝나나?
The first one is
한
going to
턴은
be targeted.
막아야지.
Bengi is there. The two world champions and their AD carry trying to keep themselves alive here. They managed to get the kill onto Lies.
여기서 좀 잡고서 장로랑 연결됐으면 할 만한데 못 잡았네 또.
Get a brief respite here in game number 4, the set match.
But you see immediately the pings. They know back to the wall. They can no longer sit in their base and clear. They have to get to Elder.
They're trying to fight right now, and Bengi again eats a huge amount of damage. The equalizer
여기서 붙잡아두는 판단은 좋은 판단이에요. 그냥 집 보내면 못 이기거든. 전멸까지 쓰니 혹시? 아 근데 좀 너무 빠르다. 아, 판단은 괜찮았는데. 지금 무조건 이득 보고 장로에서 뭔가 승부를 봐야 되는 상황이었거든요. 끝났네. 이거는 이미 뭐 체력 관리나 진영도 다 무너진 상태죠.
EasyHoon from the grave has now put all of his faith into Bengi, all of his faith into Long, because it's 2 versus 4, and Dan Gaming are chasing forward.
And the creeps are on the Nexus towers. If they want to, they have a wealth of options.
하나만 더 볼게요. 표본이 좀 적으니까 하나만 봐서는 하나만 더 보자. 두 개 정도 보면 그래도 뭐 1세트.
Execution is normally fumbled.
As you can tell, though, we've gotten into picks and bans for game number current. Huge, but for one.
Looks like to start off, we're just going to have a simple 4-point. Quickly taking a peek at these compositions. I do like the fact that Vici kind of recognized that Dan Gaming like to play a split push or a side lane.
예, 상대 미드가 낮은 꿍이에요.
They do have a strong 5v5 with the AoE between Rumble and Talia, and that Vici matched this by also bringing the cannon. So they're running more so a 1-4. You know, they've got the movement speed of the Lulu, that Karma to keep Kog'Maw safe in the mid lane. But if Long gets ahead, can
going up, taking with the Predator or block.
We'll see.
For the auto attack kiting.
Maybe.
와,
Likewise, Chuchu decided
역시
to go for the Warlord's Bloodlust on
챙기는 건 동포들밖에 없구만. 리시 진짜 되게 정성스럽게 해줬다. 와, 착하네.
Bam! So much health back.
Yeah, so we did actually see Karin at level 1 clearing out all of the small raptors, and Gung went into lane with 1 extra CS, so I think Gung might have stolen one of those raptor camps, as both of the junglers start off on that side of the map and will immediately turn towards their red buff just after. And now a defensive ward from Gung very early on the pixel brush. So perhaps some priority towards Karin already, but taking away that raptor and denying him the fast level 2 for an earlier clear could slow him down just a bit.
Dan Gaming are a team that do like to prioritize playing around Karn. He is on that carry champion like the Kazakhs.
예, 도드미님 팬클럽 고맙습니다.
It makes sense if they would kind of stretch out, maybe cover him, let him get a solid full clear before he starts prioritizing lanes.
Currently, it looks like Bengi and Karin are going for just a buff-to-buff clear, and you can see the the experience advantage. If you jump it back just a few seconds, Bengi did a full clear at level 3, Karin got level 3 as he finished the Dire Wolf camp. So just that slight experience lead for Bengi as a result of doing this mistake. The fan vote is heavily in favor of VG Gaming as expected.
VG가 이긴다는 예측은 훨씬 많네요.
Good 1 in 5 folks are still rooting for the newcomers of Dan Gaming.
Yeah, I'm actually honestly surprised that Dan Gaming have any votes. or
조합으로
any
살펴봤을
vote
땐
there.
Some people just wanna watch the world burn across.
뭐 서로 일리가 있긴 한데 뭐 플레이가
With that, we've got a very close to a
캐넨만 잘 커주면은 또 무적되는 조합 형태긴 하거든요. 탑 캐넨이 상성이 없으니까 어쨌든 럼블이 잘만 하면 캐넨한테 밀리는 편은 아닌데 그렇게 럼블을 잘할 것 같진 않으니까 보통. 캐넨이 리드 잘하고 있고 리신이 탑 쪽 위주로 봐주면 되고 바텀이 근데 아까 4세트도 그렇고 1세트 지금 진을 적극적으로 되게 활용을 많이 하네요. 진은 요즘 쓰기 진짜 힘들다는 게 정론인데 진 자이라라서 그런가 라인전도 세게 잘하는 것 같고 코그모가 라인전이 그렇게 약한 편이 아니거든. 특히 룰루 같은 거랑 함께 쓰면 지금 카르마 룰루 조합이라서 나중도 되게 든든하고 괜찮긴 한데 이게 뭐 저 댄 쪽 바텀이 진을 좀 잘하나 보네 원래. 코그모가 라인전이 약하다고 알고 계신 분들도 있던데 그게 좀 편견이에요. 잘못 알고 있는 거야.
In that regard, I meant sort of finishing off the Krugs. The bottom lane from Vici was pushed under their turret. He had the support of Cat and Choo-Choo if there were to be a skirmish.
You're implying lack of efficiency with the pressure that he had.
The point that I'm trying to get at is Bengi is a world champion. And we're starting to see what that slight experience advantage is doing as he's almost twice the jungle CS ahead of Karin. Of course, it is only about 5 because 10 of those are from a Krug, which is 1 camp.
I mean, he's pretty much 2 camps. He got double Krugs, and he's moving on to Raptors now. Is the fact that Kieran's taking time to use the Scryer's Bloom to try to clear out River. So it looks like he's prioritizing finding the vision and trying to find weaknesses or ganking holes, especially around that mid lane. Whereas Bingy is literally just racing for that level 6 power spike on Lisa, and he's like, I'm gonna get my ultimate because I've got a Karma, I've got a bot lane that's sitting underneath their tower, and I have a Kinnan who will just naturally win. There's no reason for me to, try to force anything in my lanes.
Yeah. Whereas Karin, perhaps not quite so confident in this. Bengi on the invade, looking for the dire wolf camp. He's cleared out everything else on the map. Might as well invade.
또 마이크를 끄고 얘기하고 있었네요. 죄송합니다.
Yeah, he just ticks over it as Long continues to farm up top. Lies will go for his first recall. Amptoman boots to answer to Long, who's not actually gotten his own recall yet. It's a wave about to crash in with Easy Hoon back and Bengi on that side of the map.
And that's the thing, Bengi racing the top lane. Good spot by Kieran though. He actually matches him.
제가 진짜 농담이 아니라 그럴 때가 꽤 많아요. 마이크 끄고 혼자서 몇 분 떠들다가 보면 마이크 꺼져 있구나.
And Lies has actually been pulled out of the top lane for a little bit as that lane got pushed in. Bengi goes for a smite as a snare catches Endless, and that's Ignite as well. Choo-Choo doing some damage, but Glitter Lance is more than enough to get first blood. Cat's auto attack homes through the flash.
Zyra absolutely destroyed Kog'Maw there. You saw the hesitation from Endless. He was like, I want to continue to chase on.
너무 깔끔하게 잡혔다. 좀 더럽게라도 잡혔으면 모르겠는데 너무 깔끔하게 잡혔는데 상대 전멸도 다 살아있고. 그러니까 죽는 거야 뭐 죽을 수 있는데 깔끔하게 죽은 게 좀 문제인 것 같아요. 전멸이라도 빼고 죽어줬으면 뭐 갱이라도 갈 텐데.
Giving up first blood on a Kog'Maw is not a great way to start.
The nice thing is that Choo-Choo's still going to have a very different power.
LPL 승강전은 한국어 해설 없는 걸로 알고 있습니다.
So it's a much more cost-efficient build to go Bork into Hurricane versus Ghostblade into.
ACS도 마찬가지고. 그래서 뭐 메라 승강전 지금 뭐 이지훈 뱅기 지금 승강전 이런 거는 한국어 중계 없었던 걸로 난 알고 있어. 그래서 뭐 메라 승강전도 좀 아쉽게 떨어졌었는데 유튜브 꿀템TV 참고하시면 있습니다 영상.
I know you get to fly around team fights. It's excellent.
But with that, We now have got our recalls completed, as we said. Reeker, Bow from Endless. Choo getting those flat, huge stats on the serrated Dirk for big hits. EasyHoon in the mid lane. Looks like he's actually going for the support Karma with the Athene's Unholy Grail first. He's got his Divine Chalice so far.
The exact same thing that we saw anytime there's a Karma.
그 이런 미드 서포터형 챔피언이 가는, 그러니까 뭐 카르마, 룰루 이런 챔피언이 가는 쉴드 조합 형태는요, 해외에서는 그렇게 막 이상한 조합은 아니에요. 원래 종종 나와. 뭐 아주 자주까지는 아니더라도 한 보다 보면 꽤나 나오는 편이거든요. LCK에서 안 나왔던 거지. 근데 그걸 SKT가 썼던 거고. 그래서 아까 뭐 결승전 얘기도 잠깐 했었는데요. 못 보신 분들 나중에 유튜브 참고하시기 바랍니다.
Meanwhile, Goong is also continually being shoved in by EasyHoon, and you can see again just the difference between such an experienced mid laner in EasyHoon training under the likes of Faker in the SKT organization. He's opening up a 20 CS advantage before the 10-minute mark. Even Goong going so much as to take flash and exhaust against
롤드컵 어떻게 생각하냐고요? 롤드컵 뭐 항상 엄청 중요한 대회라고 생각하고 되게 재밌어하는 대회라고 생각하죠. 근데 지금은 롤드컵 생각도 안 나지. 끊임없이 다른 대회들이 중요한 것들이 널려 있는데 당장 승강전 있지, MSI 있지, 서머 있지. 그 다음이 롤드컵이에요. 지금 롤드컵 생각하는 건 의미 없죠. 바텀이 아예 박살이 났기 때문에 그거 중심으로 후벼 파네요. 또 상대가 블루 타이밍인 것도 이용해서 파고 있고 캐넨이 커버를 왔지만 카르마도 왔지만 자 어떻게 저항이 좀 되나? 저항이 안 되면 완전 망하는 그림인데요. 다시 볼까?
This is either a kill or a free tower.
There goes the wall. It's going to be very small, but it's more than enough as call bullets find Endless. They manage to get both of them. There's Stranglethorns, and the Snare gets a kill. EasyHoon teleports in, but he's already lost his AD carry. They're trying to kill Hitong, as that's the equalizer dropped as well, but Long is doing work. Choo follows up for a double kill, and 5. Very small, but it's more than enough.
뭘 보고 있냐면 바텀 애들 대처를 좀 보고 있는데
bullets find Endless. They manage to get both of them. There's Stranglethorns, and the Snare gets a kill. EasyHoon teleports in, but he's already lost his AD carry. They're trying to kill Hitong, as that's the equalizer dropped as well, but Long is doing work. Choo follows up for a double kill, and 5 members of Dan Gaming dive onto Vici Gaming, and they start their game off 3-0.
And this is the difference between the two teams. Vici Gaming are not on the same page. Look at where Bengi is.
어쨌든 이거는 댄도 되게 잘하긴 하네요. 핵심 플레이를 되게 잘했어. 이게 탑을 가만히 놔두면 캐넨이 결국 이기는데 아예 라인전을 빨리 끝내버렸으니까. 게다가 이게 무슨 요즘이 진 메타도 아니고 진 메타처럼 근데 게임이 되네요. 한창 진 많이 나올 때 흐름이 약간 이런 건데 요즘은 진이 라인전이 너무 약해가지고 어쨌든 이런 플레이 하기가 되게 어렵거든요. 근데 자이라진으로 바텀 터트리고 스노우볼 쭉 굴리고 이제는 라인 바꾸면서 영향력 행사하며 진 같은 원딜이 되게 좋죠. 유틸형 원딜이기 때문에 개입하는 능력이 굉장히 좋아서 아까 마지막 게임에서도 그랬지만 진이 이렇게 풀리면은 되게 좋은 원딜이에요. 근데 요즘은 안 풀리니까 못 쓰는 거야.
Some crit damage to a tower. I use quotation marks there because it's not like a true crit. But they need to, put pressure on Vici and start continuing to push these structures down.
And that's what you see them all on the top side right now. They've brought Lies, even though he doesn't have his ultimate. They've brought Karin as well. Goong is now rotating into this top side of the map. This is 5 members of Dan Gaming zerging the top tier 1 at the 11.5-minute mark. Long is on the other side of the map. Bengi is trying to support his AD carry, but EasyHoon with no teleport, he's just hard farming. Another turret goes down, and Dan accelerates the pace further.
댄이 되게 잘한다. 스노우볼 진짜 잘 굴리네, 뭉쳐가지고. 속도를 계속 빠르게 올리고 있죠.
Dan Gaming are just what 12 seconds ahead of them.
Now this is
VG도 놀고 있는 건 아닌데
where there
아
are
이게
3 members of Dan Gaming. He's got to respect the crowd control that they can dish out in order to assassinate him. He will get some push pressure and open up a little bit more of that CS over Goon, but
코그모가 완전 망해가지고 이거는 뭐 시간 엄청 필요할 것 같고 믿을 건 캐넨인데 캐넨도 시간 좀 걸릴 거고 어렵겠네요 게임이.
Not going to fall for it. He has great wave clear and he's very mobile and flexible in that mid lane.
and this is exactly the difference we were talking about between the mid laner and jungle of VG Gaming versus the side lanes. EasyHoon is actually holding down the fort.
But EasyHoon now needs to absorb about 5 minutes of pressure, like this constant Dan Gaming throwing everything that they've got at him to allow the rest of his side lanes to catch up, get their breath, and get back into the game. And I don't know if he can do that.
It's going to be a really big statement from him if he's able to hold it together. But that's the sort of patience that we need to see from a team that wants to get back into the LPL. Dan now taking everything else that they can. If we can't break down mid-tier 1, we'll follow up with the Dragon. Bengi's there on the opposite side of the pit, but he's just going to go ahead and complete his recall. Actually, it gets canceled because he's spotted by Cat. And that's Ocean Dragon picked up Haunting Gallows on Good.
Window back waves allows them to get second pit warded, and you bomb rush mid and try to take or chip something down.
And even just looking at the map, he could to get his deficit for him. Even on the bottom side of the map, Lung is trying to hold that wave.
They are setting up a play hub. I have enough gold alone.
Safe.
He's going to be doing massive DPS. I don't blame him for looking towards the Wits End route.
I feel that the concern though is that he's up again. He's on a Kog'Maw, a late game hyper carry. He just added an extra 5 minutes to the clock.
게임을 아직 진 건 아닌데 그런 게 좀 있는 것 같아요. 그게 LCK 해설할 때도 여러 번 했던 얘기지만 지금 VG 조합이 가만히 놓고 보면 CC가 되게 부실한 조합이고 강제 이니시가 약한 조합이거든요. 이런 조합이 주도권을 뺏기면은 게임이 좀 많이 피곤해져요. 그래가지고 본인들이 뭔가 이렇게 할 수 있는 게 많지가 않아. 시간 끌면서 캐넨 키워가지고 럼블 압도해주고 뭐 그냥 코그모 키워가지고 나중에 코그모 지키면서 한타하고 이런 건데 게임이 좀 많이 말려가지고 시야도 없고 대처는 아주 좋았죠 방금. And actually completed as he joined up with the rest of his team as Dan were ready to fight, but so too were VG.
I thought for sure Talia was going to pull the
VG 뱀픽에 의아하진 않아요. 잘만 하면 좋은 조합이야. 커져서 그렇지.
That is flash from EasyHoon. Karin's still waiting on the side. He knows he's outside of vision as he did use a sweeper. And with Choo-Choo and Cat continuing to fire shots, Goon waiting on the side looking for the perfect Weaver's wall angle.
It's so much patience that Dan Gaming have found the right objective that they want to play around, and they feel like they've found the right play to execute on it.
여러분 코치들이나 선수들이나 똑같습니다. 쓰기 전에는 잘할 수 있다고 생각해서 쓰는 거지. 연습을 오지게 했을 테니까. 못할 거라고 생각하고 쓰는 팀이 어딨어. 잘하네. 아, 상대팀이 좀 잘하네 확실히. K각 보는 것도 그렇고.
Now Choo-Choo did formerly play for Starhorn Royal Club, another LSPL team. This isn't the LPL team, so he does have a lot of experience on stage as well as going through the LSPL. But you shouldn't style that easily.
Oh yeah. That's now the 3rd turret taken, a 4th kill for Dan Gaming. 17 minutes in, they are on track for a perfect game against Vici.
And EasyHoon's just standing there like, guys, I don't know what you want from me. I had to back. All you needed to do was not die. He arrives and his house is burnt down. It's like you leave someone to baby.
아니 선수들이 패배했을 때 받는 비난, 비판 이런 것들 당연히 안타깝지. 저도 관계자로서 저도 뭐 맨날 받고 있는 부분이지만 안타깝지 당연히. 근데 그거를 가지고 그렇다고 막을 수 있는 건 아니야. 프로니까. 내가 막을 수 있는 건 내 바운더리 내에서 막을 수 있지. 내 개인 방송 내에선 내가 막을 수 있지. 근데 그거를 벗어나서는 내가 저도 뭐 할 수 있는 게 없죠. 안 그래? 적어도 내 개인 방송에서는 내가 짱 아니냐. 내가 강퇴시킬 수 있으면 강퇴하는 거고 뭐 블랙하고 싶으면 블랙하는 거고 내가 원칙을 정하니까. 그러니까 내 개인 방송에서만큼은 하지 말아라가 내가 하는 건데 그 외적으로는 저도 그건 막을 수 없다고 봐요. 돈 받고 하는 프로들이니까 패배했을 때 받는 피드백, 뭐 그게 비난이 됐든 비판이 됐든 어느 정도는 감수할 수밖에 없는 것도 사실이죠. 냉혹한 직업 아니냐. 승리해야 되고 스포츠고.
Oh no, Long is getting played here. He's trying to fight Lies, but Gung is on the way, and he actually gets kicked onto the Weaver's wall before getting displaced back over it. They have to walk the long way around. Gung doesn't quite land that shot, but he follows up with another one. And with Lies following up, he flashes to get away from the snare. Gung gets another one, but there's the curtain call. Slow, and that's Cat flashing as well. He gets the snare, and they chase down that kill.
그러니까 댄이 기본적으로 팀워크가 훨씬 좋다. 그러니까 팀워크가 좋은데요, 애들이. VG가 계속 따로 노는 느낌이고.
Baron is up in a minute, Wind Dragon is up. Meanwhile, Easy Hoon, again on a completely different page from his team. This time successfully as he split pushes and takes the first hurt of the game, preventing the perfect game from Dan Game.
Woo! Consolation prize on the board.
무난히 터지는 게임인데.
Where does Dan Gaming want to go next? Now,
프로테크님 고맙습니다. 팬클럽 환영해요.
SKT하고 KTV 대결에서 KTV 승리를 예언하셨는데 한 말씀 해주세요, 클텔레님.
예, 퀵뷰 배터님, 통크 팬클럽 고맙습니다. 유튜브 꿀템TV 나중에 참고하시면 됩니다. 빠르면 내일 올라갈 거예요.
Slowly but surely that vision is going to have to reset. We do have a full recall, which means a full eye of the watchers from Cat for a whole lot of wards on that side. Karin has, looks like, used all of the wards on his tracker's knife, so he's going to need to go for a recall soon, but he's already skirmishing with Bengi. In fact, a full level ahead, despite that early pathing deficit that he was behind on throughout that landing phase. And as we get over the 20-minute mark, Dan Gaming continue to press further and further forward.
I mean, they want to fight so badly right now. Jin has both Infinity Edge and Ghostblade completed as well as his Swifties, and Lies is over the second tick of his ultimate. So if they could just lure Vici into a 5v5, especially if it's close to Baron, blast them, that's a very
그러니까
easy
이런
run.
VG 같은 경우가 좀 총체적 난국이라고 봐야 될 것 같아요. 내가 느낄 때는. 특히 이지훈이나 뱅기 같은 입장에서는 최고의 선수들인데, 그리고 최고의 선수들인 만큼 분명히 게임에 대해서 원하는 어떤 눈 자체, 눈높이가 다를 거고 바라보는 방향 자체가 다를 텐데 다른 팀원들하고 괴리감이 느껴지겠지 아마. 팀의 방침하고 다를 수도 있고. 그리고 VG 같은 경우는 또 악재도 중간에 있었잖아요. 뭐 구단주와의 문제라든가 그런 것도 있고 게임에 집중하기도 힘들었을 것 같은데 정치도 오지게 심할 거고.
Meanwhile, a bit of a missed rotation from Dan Gaming lets Long shove that minion wave all the way to the turret and take his second tier 1 of the game. So slowly but surely the standing gold
하여튼 해외 나가는 것도 참 어려운 문제죠.
And they are maintaining pace. This gold lead still about 4,000. And with that mid tier 1 still there for the tanking, it's only about 3,000 in terms of actual kills in CS.
Starting to see a bit of the cracks in the armor. Why Dan Gaming were the third place LSPL seed and not the first or second.
But as you said, Dan Gaming want to continue to accelerate the pace because they are at this power spike. So immediately after recalling, Cat walks right back up onto that Kog'Maw as they reset vision around Baron.
Easy one's like, get me out of here.
Yeah.
Makes his great escape. That said, it's going to be a teleport down. And where are you going with that? Apparently nowhere.
He went halfway down mid lane.
Just got to get to the creep line faster. You can see that they're trying to take advantage over the fact that they forced Easy Hoon out of the area. All of their control vision now sits on top of the Baron pit. And I feel like it was really just to race to find a pick.
Yeah, and they might have found Hitong. Wow, they've got the burst. Athens Leandres from Gung, or excuse me, Leandres Morelos. Destroys that Lulu before she can even ult herself.
아 이거 뭐 그냥 터진 게임 아니에요? 이거 반격을 하긴 하니?
And Kun is trying to punish them.
이렇게 얻어맞다 끝나는 거 아니에요 혹시?
Flank. flank. That's flash onto Endless, but he's able to sidestep in time. Strangle learns for a knockup, but Long gets in. He manages to use the slicing maelstrom. Karin leaps in and gets kicked right back out.
반격을 하긴 했네.
He's joined up. He's got the equalizer, lays it down on top of Long, but they miss the follow-up. Deadly flourish. He's able to walk away, and they end the but now they're able to sneak.
Fight. Endless.
Yeah.
Zyrus range and do that
More of
Monarch
Monarch
hitbox. It may have
inside,
Flying out.
slowing down Vici and being some recurve both Bangy with a snare. It's not enough to follow up for a kill, however. And they're just maintaining that forward momentum.
But Vici gaming it
Ooh, the deadly flourish.
round, and he got a ward right in front of
주도권
Baron.
뺏긴 상태에서 시야 장악당하고 낚시당하는 구도인데 이런 구도에서는 캐넨이 스플릿을 일단 못 가죠. 캐넨이 아이템이 저 정도 나오면은 럼블 찢어버리기는 쉬운데 합류해서 다니는 수밖에 없어요 지금. 이퀄을 이게 뭐 카르마 룰루 조합이라서 이퀄라이저 도망가기는 어렵지 않고 이거 좋은데? 이쯤 되면은 캐넨 돌릴만한데 비전이 하나도 없네 이게. 그래서 낚시를 당할 수밖에 없었고
I actually think Endless is very strong, but only on his W cooldown, so they need to fight around that 8-second window.
They're finding good damage onto Lies as he's not respecting it. There's the window that you were talking
아 이게
about.
룰루코 카르마 조합이라서 코그모가 진짜 오지게 세긴 센데.
That's what they're doing right now, though. They've almost got
아 이거를 또 다시 쳐버리네.
Yeah, but that's what they're doing right now, though. They've almost got teleport from Lies. He's actually
상대가 다
all the way
빠진 줄
back.
알았겠죠?
He's like, "Guys, there's a
그래서
big
공짜
purple orb on
바론이
the
또
map. What are you
되는
doing?" He's
그림이고.
racing out onto the map. It'll be close to see if he makes it in time, but they are just burning through it so quickly. Baron goes down for Dan Gaming.
여기서 게임은 끝난 것 같네요 이쯤 되면. 안 그래도 불리한데 바론까지 뺏겼으니까 할 것도 없을 것 같은데. 하여튼 진짜 깝깝하겠다 게임. 게임 내용이 깝깝하죠 뭔가.
Need really the shred from the blade of the Rune King. If he hits anyone with even just his basic auto attacks.
Weaver for another down. Kill one misses as Cat gets kicked in. That's the support. They are blowing everything. And back amount of shields.
뭐 이쯤 보면 될 것 같아요. 어쨌든 메라든 뭐 지훈이든 뱅기든 뭐 승강전 막 어떻게 잘 안 되고 2부 리그에서 뛴다고 하더라도 너무 실망하지 말고 또 한국에서 볼 수 있으면 좋은 거고 아니면 뭐 어디서든 간에 하여튼 더 노력하길 바라고요. 일단 제가 느낀 총평은요. VG 자체가 그냥 좀 못해요. 그냥 VG 자체가 못하는 것 같아. 운영 자체도 매끄럽지도 못하고 해야 될 플레이도 명확하지도 않고 라인전이 그렇다고 센 것도 아니고 이런 팀이 보통 어느 때 가장 심각하게 드러나냐면 팀워크가 안 좋을 때 많이 발생하는 현상이에요. 그러니까 나는 VG는 뭐 누가 문제다 이런 거를 일일이 얘기하는 것보다는 VG 자체가 팀 플레이가 뭔가 잘 안 되는 것 같아. 이런 팀들이 보통 이제 그러니까 팀적으로 문제가 있는 경우에 발생하는 문제점이죠. 사이도 뭐 그렇게 안 좋을 수도 있고 의사소통도 거의 안 될 수도 있고 서로 그냥 막 싸울 수도 있고 그냥 각자 자기 플레이 솔랭식으로 하다가 끊기는 거고 이게 개개인 기량이 조금 떨어진다고 하더라도 팀적인 플레이를 하면 그 팀이 되게 세단 말이야 생각보다. 그러니까 이게 LOL이요 이렇게 1등부터 10위까지를 매긴다고 치면 각 등수에 필요한 포인트들이 조금씩 달라요. 우선순위가 정말 상위 단계로 갔을 때 필요한 거랑 또 하위 단계에서 필요한 게 있는데 보통은 맨 처음은 팀워크로 시작을 해. 일단 팀워크가 항상 기본이 돼야 돼요. 팀워크만 좋아도 중위권 정도는 간다는 얘기가 있어요. 개인 기량이 딸리든 뭐가 뭐 한타 라인전이 딸리든 뭐가 딸리든 간에 팀워크만 좋아도 반타작은한다라는 얘기가 있어 실제로. 그만큼 팀워크가 되게 중요해. 근데 팀워크 자체가 너무 불안한 것 같고 미드 정글 쪽 기량 자체는 저는 큰 이상은 없어 보여요. 괜찮은 것 같아. 이게 흔히 얘기하는 인류 선수들이 해외 나가서 망가진 애들이 많거든. 그러니까 그 망가졌다는 표현이 그 친구 자체가 엄청 망가졌다기보다는 어느 팀을 갔는데 그 팀이 그냥 쫄딱 망했다는 거지. 그래서 같이 망가지는 거지, 폼 자체가. 그런 안 된 케이스들도 꽤 많아. 그러니까 실패 사례도 많고 성공 사례도 많은데 보통 성공한 거 기준으로 많이 기억을 하니까 그렇지 실패한 경우도 되게 많아요. 실패한 거는 사람들이 이제 뭐 까먹고 그래서 그렇지. 근데 그게 왜 그런지에 대해서 생각해 보면 이게 그만큼 팀 게임이고 참 어려워서 그래요. 그리고 서로 간의 의존도가 꽤 높은 게임이야, 생각보다. 내가 그냥 혼자서 찍어 누를 수 있는 게임이 아니야. 일정 수준 이상이 되면. 무슨 솔랭에서 양악을 하는 것도 아니고. 서로 팀 단위로 게임을 하는데 5대5로 게임하는데 내가 혼자 잘한다 그래서 양악을 할 수 있고 내가 혼자 솔로 킬내고 정글로 와도 2대1 킬내고 이게 꼭 가능한 게 아니란 말이야. 내가 미드면 정글로와의 호흡이 중요한 거고 바텀도 역시 뭐 서포트 중요하고 서로 또 미드 바텀 연결되는 거고 서로 미드 탑 연결되는 거고 정글 탑 연결되고 정글 미드 연결되고 정글 바텀 연결되고 다 이게 유기적인 관계가 있는 건데 정글 서포트 연결되고 그런 점에서 VG는 좀 심각하게 팀적인 플레이가 결여돼 있다. 일단 그렇게 느낌이 왔어요. 저는 개인적으로. 그리고 탑바텀 친구들 개인 기량 같은 경우는 좀 많이 아쉬운데 미드 정글 쪽은 무슨 뭐 뱅기가 완전 못했다 뭐 이준이 완전 못했다 이런 거에 동의하긴 좀 힘들 것 같아요. 이 정도만 봐도. 나는 그리고 제 저라는 사람의 얘기나 뭐 인터뷰나 방송이나 이런 거를 많이 보신 분들은 알 수 있는데 저는 기본적으로 클래스라는 걸 되게 중요하게 생각해요. 저는 한번 정점을 찍었던 클래스의 애들은 상황에 따라서 다를 수 있고 뭐 종종 슬럼프가 올 때도 있고 뭐 그럴 수는 있겠지만 기본적으로 그 클래스는 어디 안 간다고 생각하거든요. 항상 되게 높게 생각을 해요. 이것도 뭐 사람마다 관점의 차이는 있을 테지만 그래서 뱅기 이지훈급 되는 애들은요 그냥 잘한다고 어디에 가서든 결국 잘할 거라고 봐요. 이게 좀 안 풀리는 경우도 있겠지만 팀에 따라 다를 수 있는 거고 상황에 따라 다를 수 있는 거겠지만 예. 그렇게 폄하당할 만큼 못하는 애들이 아니거든 절대. 무슨 뭐 이런 거 좀 못했다 그래가지고 막 엄청 막 그럴 정도는 아니라고 생각해요. 하여튼 잘 됐으면 좋겠다. 힘들겠다 야. 특히 정글러 입장에서 오지게 빡셀 텐데 저런 거. 말 안 통하는데 정글러 하는 거 진짜 힘들 것 같아. 저도 뭐 그렇게 해본 적은 없지만 선수들이랑 의사소통도 잘 안 되고 이거 뭐 얘기도 해야 될 텐데. 근데 뭐 본인이 선택해서 간 거고 뭐 누구를 뭐 탓할 건 아니겠죠. 어차피 자기들이 선택한 거니까. LCK나 해외 리그나 다 장단점은 있어요. 뭐가 더 좋다 나쁘다 얘기하긴 힘들 것 같아 결국. 뱅기 이지훈은 둘이 묶어서 한국 오면 데려갈 팀이 널렸지만 그것도 다 달라. 왜 그런 줄 알아요? 돈이 얼마냐에 따라 다 다르거든. 누가 무조건 어느 팀 갈 수 있고 누구는 무조건 데려갈 수 있고 뭐 누구는 뭐 어디 갈 수 있고 그거는 무조건 정해져 있는 게 아니에요. 항상 얼마를 부르냐에 따라 달라. 그 팀의 사정에 따라 다르고 그리고 그 팀의 멤버가 더 좋을 수도 있는 거고 상황에 따라 다 다르지.